So I'm here today with Dr. Phillippa Poole, and if you could please introduce yourself, Phillippa, and tell us a bit about your specialty, your current role and academic activities, please.
Yeah. My name is Phillippa Poole and I'm a graduate of the University of Auckland Medical School, but my current role is General Physician, Auckland City Hospital. That's 3 months of the year on acute service, but clinics year round. My other role has recently been the Associate Dean Medical Program, so that was 10 years of leading the academic side of the medical program at Auckland, but I've just stepped down from that but still head medical education activities for the School of Medicine.
And this is one of our favourite questions to ask. What is one of your fondest memories from your med school days?
Oh, I think the intensity of learning clinical medicine, it was so exciting in a group. I loved my group. We stayed with the same group all the way through one of our years, and I'm still extremely close friends with my group from medical school, so that group, yeah.
And do you have any other qualifications, medical or non-medical?
I did a BSc actually before I did
really?
medicine. I did a maths degree, so did that and came to medicine late when I realised that I didn't want to be a teacher or an actuary, so but I've never looked back, loved medicine, yeah.
And why did you choose the specialty you're working in now?
I chose, well, I really didn't choose it, I sort of fell into it.
Right.
Like a lot of things in medicine, doors open and you walk into them, and I don't think I had any great career aspirations when I was at medical school, but then Dr. John Henley is a wonderful, wonderful physician here, said, you think like a physician, why don't you be a physician? And I hadn't really even thought about that. So did that and enjoyed the incredible intellectual challenge and the interesting nature of medical care and loved caring for the patients. So that's why I stayed in medicine, but general medicine particularly because I just love the whole of medicine and the ability to provide holistic care to patients who come in with undifferentiated, undiagnosed illnesses. So,
Sure.
yeah.
It seems to be a common theme. People fall into their specialties rather than choose them. They just turn up in front of them and walk through the door.
Yeah.
In your current role, what does a typical day, if you do have such thing as a typical day, look like for you?
It depends if I'm on ward service or not. If I'm on the wards, obviously starts in handover and managing the patients under your care, but most days of the year aren't like that, and I could be anywhere from in Australia accrediting a medical school, organising a conference, doing research, teaching medical students, assessing curriculum design, so incredibly varied job, and I think that's again why I really, really love my job. It's just always different. I guess it does create stresses because there's obviously competing priorities, but I think, you know, I'm quite an organised person and I seem to be able to cope with that, so I like to be busy.
And what do you most enjoy about your current role?
Well, I think that's it really, and I think it's multiple interactions with multiple different people, right from patients, students, colleagues, government, other medical schools, right across the spectrum really. And so I had this wonderful intersection role between a lot of different agencies, and hope in my way that be able to sort of pull people together and get the health system and the education systems moving in a way that's positive for the future.
And is there anything you don't enjoy about your current role?
Well, I'm a bit busy at times, yes, and I think when you're so busy you can't give things the time that you would normally like to do so, you know, say the personal attention all the time to sit down and talk, so that's the one regret, and also it obviously impacts on family time, and I think my one big regret is that I've only had one child, so that's a lesson to everybody out there, so have your children, and just time goes by, you know, your life goes by in a sort of whir, and you need to stop and smell the roses every now and again.
And are there any tips you have for maintaining a work-life balance?
Well, I think, you know, I've always been really into sport. I was in the territorials when I was at med school. I still do orienteering at a national and international level, so I think just have those really intense sports so you can really let the wind blow around your face and blow the cobwebs away.
Yeah, sure. And what advice would you give to school students who are interested in a career in medicine?
I think really think about why you're applying. Don't just get sucked into the highly competitive nature and wanting to be the creme de la creme who is selected. You really have to have in your heart a servant attitude and a service mentality, and really have a genuine liking of people. And I think increasingly liking older people because of the ageing population and the sort of specific health needs created by that. So really, if you don't like older people and multiple illnesses, and just, it's going to be very, very difficult for you.
Practice on your grandparents.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to medical students and junior doctors about career progression and specialty choice?
I think, well, now, the 50-50 female and male, I think, the health system is will have to be more flexible to accommodate needs. So don't be afraid to sort of express your needs to people if you need time out for family responsibilities, and just build in a little bit of flexibility into your life. Don't try and climb the pile so quickly, so take your time, and just doesn't matter if it's this year or next year.
Yeah.
There's no great rush because there's a long time in your specialty.
Yeah. And over the last 10 years, or maybe a longer time period is appropriate, how has the role of women in medicine changed?
Well, I think obviously numerically it's changed. Most women used to go into general practice, but now women are entering all other specialties. Pathology, interestingly, is a specialty we don't talk about much at medical school, but that's got the highest number of female trainees, so that's certainly something which I think women are choosing because of the flexibility to be able to manage the work-life family balance. So it's going to be different, but there is one challenge, that medicine requires a lot of people to go on committees and be involved in outside activities as well. So, if you've got work and family commitments, it's sometimes difficult to fit those things in as well. So I think the nature of medicine will change as it becomes more feminised. But for the good, I think, because women have all the attributes that are needed to look after the special needs of the ageing population, the chronic disease management and the holistic kind of management of patients. So I think it's all good.
And is there any particular advice you can offer for women thinking about a career in medicine or already pursuing a career in medicine?
I think I've already said it, which is to not be afraid to seek out mentors, get advice, help you with your decision making around timing of family, etc. And also when you need support, because of course you can't be a full-time mum and a full-time doc and a full-time studying person, so you do have to make some compromises, but other people have been there before you, so use us.
And if you could do one thing tomorrow that would improve the health system in New Zealand, what would that one thing be?
Difficult question. I've been thinking a lot lately about how we get doctors working predominantly on medical jobs and not lots of other jobs that other people could do, but how to task transfer is something we haven't really grappled, so we need a discussion about how we are going to sort of peel off more routine tasks to people who perhaps are skilled but not as highly paid, so that we can actually manage the care required at the level of quality required, but within static and financial resources. So static human and financial resources. So how do we provide better care, as good a care for more people within constrained resources? That's a really difficult one. That's for people like you, the economists.
that is a tricky one, and the sustainability of the workforce is obviously we're looking down dire straits at the moment.
We are. I mean, I can just tell, on the ward at the moment, I've got, patients who just are, really ill, but they can't go home, and yet, there's more and more of them, and so, but only the same number of staff to look after them, so the same number of beds, so we've got to do things differently.
Yeah, sure. And if you had to do everything again, would you still choose medicine over maths?
Well, I guess that was sequential, it wasn't parallel, so, I've just loved medicine. Medicine's fantastic. I mean, that's just every day is sort of intellectually challenging, and the problem solving, but the rewards are huge. I mean, you get huge satisfaction out of all that, and I think I would do it again. tomorrow. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Phillippa, thank you very much for your time, and it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I'm sure our members will really like to see what you have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that was easy.